Hold it, Ed.
Well, we're bringing the first day of the 13th annual Colorado River Bluegrass Festival to a close, and we're going to do it in style. I mentioned earlier today about our buddy Al Bess, who passed away not quite a year ago. And the last time I saw Al, he was on this very stage doing what he loves and making music. So we're going to invite Mr. Ed Catalfamo up here with the city of Bullhead City, Arizona, who quite literally continues to make this festival happen. Let's have a big hand for Ed right here. He works all year round, so we can do this one weekend a year. Now I'm going to turn the mic over to Ed and let him tell you what's taking place here. Ed.
Talk to Marty.
Lower down. Thank you, Marty. Hey, thank everybody for coming to the 13th annual Colorado River Bluegrass Festival. Thank you all for coming. I appreciate it. I obviously didn't know Al long at all. I was one of the unfortunate ones. But one of the things I do know from Al is he would want everybody to have a blast at this festival. He loved this festival, he loved bluegrass, and he loved helping newcomers like myself. So we really appreciate everything he's done for bluegrass. One of the things we're doing this year, and we're going to carry on throughout, is we're starting a Colorado River Bluegrass Hall of Fame. And today we're going to induct Al into that Hall of Fame. And we got a beautiful plaque here, and I'll read it for everybody, and we'll get this out to his wife, Tony. And it's Colorado River Bluegrass Festival Hall of Fame inductee in loving memory, Al Bess, for his dedication and commitment to the success of the Colorado River Bluegrass Festival and to bluegrass music all over the Southwest, February 20th, 2016.
All right.
Thank you, Ed. That's very classy. That's, you hear it a lot, but there's no doubt about it. We're all one big family here, and this goes a long way to prove that. Whole bunch of yahoos up on the stage right now. Over there on my left, your right, is Al's bass. You know it's Al's bass because it's got the bullet holes in it. Those are real. That's not a decal. If you ever heard Al play bass, you'll understand why there's bullet holes in there. Well, we're going to turn it over to Al's band just for fun, and that's a joke because anybody that knows anything about bluegrass music knows there's nothing fun about it. So it's strictly work, a lot of driving at night.
You had enough.
I don't think your mic's on, Cy, and that's by design. So just talk away.
La 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 la.
Yeah. Before we're going to turn Just for Fun loose, we got the gentleman again that founded the festival years back. Randy, come on up. You wanted to say a few words on Al's behalf? One more time, give Randy a big hand up here.
I lowered it down for you.
I knew Al from about 14 years ago or 15 years ago, whenever they were at Logandale Festival. I met him then, and he helped me an awful lot about doing a festival. But one thing he helped me more than about anything else is how to treat people. I'm not as good as he was, and I'll never be as good as he was, but I'm trying. But anyway, every time when I heard somebody mention Al Bess's name, I automatically think of a smile. Anytime he says anything, he has to laugh first, and then get it out. But I just want to say he was my friend. I miss him, and I'm damn sorry he's dead. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
When Al left us, he was at a bluegrass festival, or had just gotten home from a bluegrass festival and was playing music, and he was surrounded by friends. One of those friends is Larry Smith. Larry, do you want to say a few words?
Yeah, I just want to say a few things about my friend Al Bess. I had the opportunity to pick with him the night before he passed down in the desert at Quartzsite, and it was one of those times where everything just seems to come together. It was great. We all had fun. We picked till about midnight. We sat around, talked for 20 minutes or so, and the next day he was gone. Al was a great friend. I enjoyed listening to his music. The one thing I really miss is Al would play what I called spooky music. Had all these minor chords in it. And I don't know anybody else that does that, so I really miss that music. But Al was very integral to the bluegrass in southern Nevada, western Arizona here. He was president of the Southern Nevada Club for 17 years, in the club for a lot longer. So he is deeply missed by all his family and friends. So when we think about Al, keep his wife Tony in your prayers and thoughts, and someday we'll meet again. I can only imagine they're playing some beautiful music upstairs. Thank you.
Thanks, Larry. We're going to turn Just for Fun loose. It's all yours, guys. Ladies.
Where is the cup he's given you to drink from? In faith he carved when he was crucified. In his faith and sacrifice, why have you fallen? Could it be that you would be in 3 days' time? There is an empty grave out on the hillside. Angels came and rolled the stone away. Now could it be you haven't heard the Master calling from somewhere beyond the grave? He said he came to pave the way before me, and he said he is alive, he is awake. The Son of God came down to us from heaven. How could it be that you have lost your faith? There is an empty grave out on the hillside. Angels came and rolled the stone away. Now could it be you haven't heard the Master calling from somewhere beyond the grave? An empty grave out on the hillside. Angels came and rolled the stone away. Now could it be you haven't heard the Master calling from somewhere beyond the grave? Now could it be you haven't heard the Master calling from somewhere beyond the grave, calling from somewhere beyond the grave? Thank you. Like Marty said, we're the Just for Fun band, sort of. There's some extra people up here that we asked to play, and in honor of Al, and we also, believe it or not, the Just for Fun band cut a CD about 10 years ago. It's been about 10 years, and we have one or two left over there. If you want some Al Bess memorabilia, he sings a couple, 3 songs on that CD, I think. And for a mere $5, we'd be happy to give you that for your donation. The proceeds, all of it, will go to Tony Bess. So. Anyway, what are we doing? Oh yeah. We're going to let Sheila Brown sing one for you. This is her husband sitting right down here, and he's got a shotgun and said that if we didn't let her sing. But this is one that Al sang an awful lot. He sang one of our favorites and one of his, and it's called
I Cried Myself.
I Cried Myself Awake. Here it goes.
Goodbye. As I slept, the teardrops filled my eyes. It felt so real, I thought my heart would break. Last night I cried myself away. Cried myself awake and lay there trembling. As I reached for you, my hand began to shake. And as I touched your arm there in the darkness, I knew that I had cried myself away. I know now just how empty life would be if you would ever take your love from me. To lose you would be more than I could take. Last night I cried myself away. Trembling as I reached for you, my hand began to shake. In the darkness, I knew that I had cried myself away. Last night I cried myself away.
Thank you, Sheila. Al didn't sing it quite that high, but he had his own way. Everybody, Al was a good old boy. I tell you, most people loved him, some more than others. But if he had something to say to you, he'd sure say it.
That's
I'm
right.
telling you that.
You knew where you stood.
My first experience, and I call it that, with Al, was I don't know, probably 12 years ago. With Betty and I had just started getting into bluegrass, and I used to play country music and all that. But we went to a festival that was in Mesquite, Nevada. That was our first experience with Al. We were the hotel there, the Riverside, gave us a room so we could jam in it, and I joined the jam, and I was sitting right there next to Al, and I had, being a country player, I had a pick that was real thin, and every time I'd strum on it, it sounded like when you put a card in the spoke of a wheel when you was a kid. I'd be playing that with that real thin pick, and he had just about enough of that in his ear, and he looked over at me, and he says, "Son, you need a thicker pick." and he handed me his.
He threw that one away.
And then threw the thin one away, but he meant well. So we're gonna do one more.
Song. Spooky.
One of his spooky songs. It's in a B minor for those who
Want to sing along?
is. A lilac comes on a poison thorn in a dress dirty and torn. Young'uns are playing as the black crow flies. Mama's weeping, hear the mountains cry. There was another wild dirt flower. Cold was her heart and as dark as dire. Tears on the ground where her love did die. 'Neath the bloody moon, hear the mountain cry. Grave, narrow and deep, fill a jug of whiskey by his thirsty feet, and lay 2 pennies on his roving eye. 2 women wailing as the mountain cried. The wind blows weary as the willows sigh. Rivers of sorrow when the mountains cry. Rivers of sorrow as the mountains cry. Something like that. Thank you all. God bless Al Bess.
Just for fun. Just for fun. Come on up. Thank you, guys. Just trying to get their attention. Larry mentioned that Al was president of the Bluegrass Society for 17 years. That's a long haul. I want to introduce to you Vera Van, who's the current president of the Southern Nevada Bluegrass Music Society. Give her a hand.
Thank you, Marty. It was some tough shoes to fill when I stepped in as president because Al wanted to step down and take life easy for a while. And it's pretty fitting that he passed away while doing something he loved. Al did so much to build up bluegrass in Southern Nevada and the surrounding area, Southern California and Arizona and Utah. He certainly will be missed. And we're doing our best to fill his shoes and keep his traditions going. And certainly appreciated hearing from Just for Fun because they always adhered to the traditional bluegrass music that a lot of us older folks really love. So yes, we will miss Al. And is Marty? There he is. How could I miss Marty? Okay. So thank you all for coming and helping to pay tribute to Al Bess.
Vera Van, folks. We have Paul and Jackie, or is it Jackie and Paul? You guys work it out up here. But I don't know about these folks. They said they were friends of Al's for 55 years. Yeah. And Al told me he was only 39 years old, so I don't know how your math is working. So, friends of theirs. Go ahead, folks.
We're going to do two songs that Al, he always would call us up. We're from Alaska, and so we'd come down now for the bluegrass festivals, but he'd always say, Jackie, I got some songs for you. You need to learn these. And so these are two of the ones that we learned. This is called When I'm All Alone with the Lord. When I'm all alone with the Lord, and there's no one but me, what will I say on that final day when I'm all alone with the Lord? Oh Lord, you've been a friend to me, and I tried to serve you faithfully. I fell into sin. How can I enter in? What will I say in the end? When I'm all alone with the Lord, and there's no one but me, what will I say on that final day when I'm all alone with the Lord? When I see you face to face, see the presence of your grace, What blessings will I receive when I see you face to face? When I'm all alone with the Lord, and there's no one but me. What will I say on that final day when I'm all alone with the Lord? When I'm all alone with the Lord. Thank you so much. This one is called At the Feet of God. This was a favorite one that we used to do, and he'd always request this, so we haven't done it in a long time, so we're going to go ahead and try it. There is a place I go to rest at the feet of God, and there's a place where I've been blessed at the feet of God. Now there are times when I am weak at the feet of God. He knows my needs before I speak at the feet of God. He knows my name, my soul is claimed at the feet of God. Still the same, oh praise His name at the feet of God. There's safety from a raging storm at the feet of God. The Lord that keeps me from all harm is at the feet of God. A healing power flows for me at the feet of God. His blood will cleanse and make me free at the feet of God. He knows my name, my soul is claimed at the feet of God. Still the same, oh praise His name at the feet of God. Still the same, oh praise His name at the feet of God. Thank you so much.
Take a beat. You're welcome.
So it's officially Jackie and Paul. I'm sorry, Paul. She's got top billing there. Give him a hand. Thank you, guys. You know, those of you that know Al, you know he'd be totally against all this. He'd be, you know, so too bad, right?
Staying here.
We're going to have Ron Chavez come up, and I'll let him do the introductions. You handle that, Ron?
You mean introduce the folks?
Sure.
Well, they've all been introduced already. They've all been on stage. I got Cy on the banjo. I got Glenn over here on the mandolin.
Thanks.
Pete's on the bass, and my wife and I are Ron and Rosie Chavez. We're gonna do an original song that I wrote. When I wrote it, Rosie got really upset with me because she thought I was ready to die. But it's really a song about anticipating heaven, I hope, anyway. I knew Al for 13 plus years. We both played bass. When I was starting to play the bass, he would always invite me into his jams, and he'd always give up his bass and say, "Here, play it," even though I didn't know what I was doing. And that's the kind of guy he was. He was just a mentor to all the new bluegrassers. So this is for Al. He liked this song. He liked gospel songs. This is one he liked for us to do. When I was just a child, before I went wild, I couldn't wait for my birthday. And when I became a teen, with so many sights unseen, I couldn't wait for my first day. Now I can't wait, I can't wait for heaven's gate, for heaven's gate. I've been almost everywhere, I've done what I wanted to, but I can't wait for heaven's gate. And I did say we couldn't wait, we could not wait. And when our children got to school, they were nobody's fool. I couldn't wait to see them graduate. Now I can't wait, I can't wait for heaven's gate, for heaven's gate. I've been almost everywhere, I've done what I wanted to, but I can't wait for heaven's gate. At the end of my career, retirement is here. I can't wait to sleep in late. Now I've sung a lot of songs, and perhaps you sang along, but I can't wait for heaven's gate. I can't wait, I can't wait for heaven's gate, for heaven's gate. I've been almost everywhere, I've done what I wanted to, but I can't wait for heaven's gate. Well, I'm standing here at last, I see loved ones from my past. I'm not alone, I've come back home. When it's time for you to leave, there'll be no more need to breathe. Here we'll wait by heaven's gate. Oh, I can't wait, I can't wait for heaven's gate, for heaven's gate. been almost everywhere. I've done what I wanted to, but I can't wait for heaven's gate. I've been almost everywhere. I've done what I wanted to, but I can't wait for heaven's gate. God bless Al Bess. Thank you.
Thank you, Ron. Thank you, folks. No problem. Come on up, Glenn. We're going to get Glenn back up here. Glenn just likes being on stage. And it works for everybody because I like seeing Glenn on stage. Don't you agree? Come on up, Johnny. We're going to turn them loose again up here. These folks need no introduction. Take it away, Glenn. It's all you.
Do you want your chair? Should I get your chair?
This is yours. I'll take it.
Where would you like it? Yeah, try this one.
About a year ago,
Up a little bit.
we were parked right beside of Al when he passed away. And he always wanted to hear White Oak on the Hill. I know we did it this morning, but I'd like to do it again for Al. There's a white oak on the hill and her old Clinch Mountain home. It stands straight and true in that windy spur alone. But when the wind blows, the limbs they bend and moan. When storms pass, they straighten up and go on. Lord, let me be like that white oak on the hill. Help me to live in your almighty will. Help me on my journey, Lord, as I travel on. And give me the strength to straighten up and go on. Troubles of this life, they sometimes get me down. I look for my friends, but they're not always around. But the good Lord seems to say, son, get up and do thy will. And always remember that old white oak on the hill. Lord, let me be like that white oak on the hill. Help me to live in your almighty will. Help me on my journey, Lord, as I travel on. And give me the strength to straighten up and go on. And give me the strength to straighten up and go on. Thank you. I'd like to do one more. I don't know if I can get through it or not. But call, Lord, I'm ready to go home. Through this valley of this life I have wandered, and I worked for Jesus all along the way. I can see the sun for me now is setting. I have reached the ending all the way. Lord, I've been faithful in the service you have given, and the harvest of the Lord I have done. But now my steps are growing weary. Lord, I'm ready to go home. Valley of this life I have wandered, and I've worked for Jesus all along the way. I can see the sun for me now is setting. I have reached the ending of the way. Lord, I've been faithful in the service you have given, harvest of the fields, Lord, I have done. But now my steps growing weary. Lord, I'm ready to go home. I hate to leave so many friends behind me, and the parting of our ways will touch my heart. But I'll wait for them inside the gates of heaven, where the children of God will never part. Lord, I've been faithful in the service you have given, and the harvest of the Lord I have done. But now my steps are growing weary. Lord, I'm ready to go home. Lord, I'm ready to go home. Thank you.
You all stick around, don't go nowhere.
Okay.
All right, I guess, was Monica and I up now? This is Monica and I up now?
Sure.
Okay. Grab that microphone right there. Key of A.
Hey.
Don't this road look rough and rough?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
You know, I only knew Al for about 3 years. We got off to a rocky start. We were in Blythe, California. I invited some folks. It was the first year we were there, and we parked right on the end of Al. Had my folks there, and they parked the car right over here on the side, and Al kept telling us, we've got a campers moving in there. And I said, why don't you just move on, old man? No, I didn't tell him that. You kidding me? Look at me, and then you remember Al. No, I said, you just let me know when you need us to move that car. We'll move that car. So later that night, we got to sit down and pick some songs together, and it was a beginning of a long friendship, but a very short friendship. Glenn had called me up and given me the news, and we were right in the middle of a jam session, and we stopped the jam session right there, and we did all Al's tunes for the rest of the night there. We were going to do that tune there. Sheila stole my song there, but you did a great job with it. Al, I had heard Al do that. I Cried Myself Awake, and just fell in love with that tune, and we picked it up. I didn't realize it was Al that had done it the first time I'd heard it. And so we showed up to the next jam session, and Al was there, and he says, I said, let's do I Cried Myself Awake. And Al says, well, I only do 3 songs, and that was one of them right there, so I'm done for the night. But good job with that tune. Now we're going to do one. Al like to hear Monica and I do this one. It's called Don't This Road Look Rough and Rocky.
Could I say something?
Please do, gladly.
When Al passed away and at his memorial up in Las Vegas, this couple drove all the way from New Mexico to Al Bess Memorial.
Let's do services there. Yeah.
And that's how much they like Bill.
Oh, wow, there he was. That's the kind of impression that he made on you. You didn't have to know him good. You just had to know him, and you'd do anything for him because you know he'd do anything for you.
Darling, I have come to tell you, though it almost breaks my heart, but before the morning, darling, we'll be many miles apart. Don't this road look rough and rocky? Don't that sea look wide and deep? Don't my baby look the sweetest when she's in my arms asleep? Came to hear the night bird calling far across the deep blue sea, while of others you are thinking. Won't you sometimes think of me? Don't this road look rough and rocky? Don't that sea look wide and deep? Don't my baby look the sweetest when she's in my arms asleep? One more kiss before I leave you. One more kiss before we part. You have caused me lots of trouble, darling. You have broke my heart. Don't this road look rough and rocky? Don't that sea look wide and deep? Don't my baby look the sweetest when she's in my arms asleep? When she's in my arms asleep.
Thank you, Al.
Absolutely great. Hey, thank you folks for helping us pay respects to Al Bess. We love him and we know you love him. We're going to close out. We're going to have Barbara Smith come up and say a few words, and then the girls and I are going to sing a tune for Al, our buddy, and then we'll end this first day of the Bluegrass Festival. Barbara?
I just want to publicly thank a couple of people that they've been on my mind all year since Al passed. They did some special things the morning Al passed, and I know in my heart that Tony would want him to be publicly thanked, and that's Lloyd Morris and Jay Stewart. We love you and thank you for what you did for Al that morning.
Thank you, folks. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock, bright and early. We got a full day of music for you. Thank you. Be safe out there tonight. Have fun.
On the corner